welcome to Sleep Drift Tales. Tonight we walk the shore beneath soft rain. The sea moves with patience. The cliffs rise dark and shining, and ahead a cave waits, a place of shelter, a place of peace. This is not just a story. It is a journey inward, into stone walls that echo with the rhythm of rain, into a quiet refuge where the storm becomes music. Stay here with me. Breathe slowly. Let the cave hold you. Let the ocean soften your thoughts. If this brings you comfort, you are welcome to subscribe and return each night. And I would love to know from where in the world you are listening tonight. Now close your eyes and let the ocean cave carry you into rest. The rain begins as you reach the coastline. Small drops fall from the gray evening skies. They touch your shoulders, your arms, your face. The drops are warm. They are gentle. They do not rush. You walk along the sand. The beach stretches before you. No footprints mark this place. No voices carry on the wind. Only you and the rain and the endless line where water meets the shore. The sand beneath your feet is firm. Rain has darkened it from pale gold to deep brown. Each step leaves a shallow impression. The waves erase these marks as they roll forward. The ocean moves with patience. It has waited here for centuries. It will wait for centuries more. You breathe slowly. The air carries salt and moisture. It fills your lungs with the scent of deep water and wet stone. Your shoulders begin to relax. The tension of the day dissolves with each raindrop that touches your skin. The coastline curves gently ahead. Tall cliffs rise from the water's edge. Their faces are worn smooth by countless storms. Rain streams down their surfaces in thin silver lines. The stone is dark with water. It gleams in the fading light. You follow the curve of the shore. Your footsteps make soft sounds against the wet sand. The rain continues its steady rhythm, drop by drop, breath by breath, moment by moment. Time moves differently here beside the sea. The waves roll toward you in long, slow sets. They are not the fierce waves of winter storms. These waves move with the gentleness of evening tide. They reach the sand, pause, then pull back toward the deeper water. Their sound is constant. It mingles with the rain to create a natural rhythm that speaks to something ancient within you. You pause and watch the horizon. Gray clouds stretch from north to south. They are heavy with moisture. The rain they release falls in sheets across the ocean surface. Where the drops meet the waves, tiny circles form and disappear. The sea accepts each drop without resistance. A seabird calls in the distance. Its cry echoes off the cliff faces. Then silence returns, filled only with rain and waves and the soft whisper of wind through seagrass that grows in the dunes behind you. You continue walking. The sand changes beneath your feet. Here it is mixed with small, smooth stones. They have been tumbled by the waves until their edges are gone. Your footsteps make a different sound now, softer, more muffled. The cliff wall draws closer to the water. Soon you walk in the narrow space between stone and sea. Rain continues to fall. It runs off the cliff in small streams. These streams carve temporary channels in the sand before joining the advancing waves. You notice how the rain has changed the colors of everything. The cliffstone has deepened from gray to charcoal. The seagrass appears darker green. Even the foam of the waves seems brighter against the subdued palette of the storm-touched shore. Your clothing grows damp. The fabric clings gently to your skin, but you are not cold. The rain is warm. The air holds the heat of the day. You feel embraced by the elements rather than battled by them. The rhythm of your walking matches the rhythm of the waves. Step, pause, step, pause. Your breathing settles into this same cadence. Inhale as the wave approaches. Exhale as it retreats. The boundaries between your body and the environment around you begin to soften. You walk for what might be minutes or might be hours. Time has lost its sharp edges here. The rain continues. The waves continue. Your feet continue to carry you along the darkening shore. There is nowhere else you need to be. Nothing else you need to do. Only this. Walking in the rain beside the patient sea, the light grows dimmer. Not the harsh darkness of night, but the gentle dimming of evening beneath rain clouds. The world takes on a silvery quality. Water and air seem to blend together. You exist within this soft boundary between elements. Ahead, the cliff wall reveals something new. A shadow, deeper than the rest. As you approach, you see it is an opening in the stone. Not large, wide enough for a person to enter. The entrance is carved smooth by centuries of waves during the highest tides. You stop before this opening. Rain continues to fall on your shoulders and head. The waves continue their steady approach and retreat, but something in the quality of sound has changed. There is an echo now, faint but present. The cave ahead offers something the open shore cannot. Shelter. You look back along the beach you have traveled. Your footprints have been claimed by the waves and rain. The path behind you has returned to its unmarked state. Only forward remains. The rain falls more steadily now. Each drop joins the countless others that have fallen on this shore throughout time. You are part of this ancient rhythm, belong to this moment between day and night, between storm and calm, between the world above and the shelter that waits within the stone. You step toward the cave entrance. The rain on your face mingles with the salt spray from the waves. Your feet find purchase on the wet stone at the cave's threshold. Behind you, the beach continues its patient conversation. With the sea ahead, darkness offers refuge. The sound of rain on water follows you. The waves continue their eternal rhythm. But now these sounds begin to change, to echo, to deepen. The cave calls to you with the promise of shelter and the ancient comfort of stone walls that have weathered countless storms. You pause at the entrance. Rain streams down around the opening like a curtain. Through this curtain, you glimpse the safety that waits within. The ocean will remain. The rain will continue. But you have found the place where you can rest, dry and warm and safe. While the storm keeps its gentle vigil over the darkening sea, you step across the threshold. The change is immediate. The rain that touched your skin now sounds different, distant, transformed into echo. Your feet find dry stone beneath them. The cave floor is smooth, worn by ancient tides that once reached this far inland. Behind you, the curtain of rain continues to fall across the cave entrance. It creates a wall of moving water between the shelter and the storm. Through this curtain, you can see the beach where you walked. The waves still roll toward the shore, but they seem part of another world now. You take another step forward. The cave is wider than it appeared from outside. The ceiling arches above you, high enough that you do not need to bend, carved by time and tied into graceful curves. The stone is dark granite, polished smooth in places, rough and textured in others. Light filters through the rain curtain behind you. It is gentle light, diffused by the water, casting everything in soft silver tones. The deeper parts of the cave fade into shadow, but you can see enough to know this place is safe. The sound within the cave is different from the sound outside. The rain that falls beyond the entrance creates a steady percussion against stone and sand and water. But here, within these walls, that sound becomes something else. It deepens. It resonates. The cave transforms the weather into music. You breathe slowly. The air inside is still. It carries the scent of sea salt and wet stone. But it is not cold. The granite walls hold warmth from the day. They radiate this warmth gently, like stones around a fire that has burned low. Your footsteps echo softly as you move deeper into the cave. Each sound returns to you changed, mellowed by the stone, mixed with the ongoing rhythm of rain and waves outside. You become part of the cave's natural acoustics. The floor beneath your feet is not entirely smooth. In some places, small pools have formed where water seeps through cracks in the ceiling above. These pools reflect what light reaches them. They mirror the curved walls and create the illusion of depth, as if the cave extends both upward and downward beyond what the eye can see. You pause beside one of these pools. The water is clear and still. A single drop falls from above, creating rings that spread outward and fade. Another drop follows, then another. The rhythm is slower than rain, more deliberate, like the breathing of the cave itself. The sound of the ocean has not disappeared. It reaches you still, but filtered through stone and distance. The waves continue their patient work against the shore, but their sound has become part of the cave's larger symphony. Rain above drops within, waves beyond, all blending into a composition that speaks of shelter and safety. You continue forward. The cave curves gently to the right. As you follow this curve, the entrance behind you disappears from view. The rain curtain can no longer be seen, but its sound remains, a constant presence that connects you to the storm outside while keeping you safe within. The light grows dimmer as you move deeper, but your eyes adjust. You begin to see details that were hidden before. The walls are not uniform. They bear the marks of their creation. Smooth channels carved by water, rough patches where harder stone resisted erosion, shallow alcoves that might once have been tidal pools. In one of these alcoves, you notice something unexpected. A small shelf of stone, too regular to be natural, carved by human hands in some distant time. Upon this shelf sits an object that seems to wait for your arrival. A lantern. It is simple in design. Metal darkened by age. Glass panels that show no cracks. Beside it rests a small container. Approach slowly. Your footsteps echo in the curved space. The lantern seems to belong here, as if it has waited through many storms for someone to find this shelter. You examine the container beside the lantern. It holds oil, still liquid, still usable. Someone has maintained this place. Someone has ensured that future travelers would find not just shelter, but light and warmth as well. Your hands work without conscious thought. You lift the glass chimney. You adjust the wick. You strike the match that waits beside the oil container. The flame catches. Light blooms in the cave. The transformation is remarkable. Where before you saw only shadows and suggestion, now you see the cave's true nature. The walls curve upward and meet in a natural dome. The stone is beautiful, layers of different minerals creating bands of color, gray and gold and deep brown, all polished by centuries of tidal action. The light reveals more alcoves carved into the walls. Some hold pools of fresh water that seeps through the stone. Others contain small piles of driftwood, dry and ready for burning if needed. This cave has served as shelter for many travelers over many years. You adjust the lantern's flame to a gentle glow. Too bright, and it would harsh against the natural dimness. Too dim, and the shadows would return. But at this level, the light feels like moonlight, silver and peaceful, revealing without overwhelming. The sound of rain continues above and beyond the cave, but now with light to see by. You notice how the cave's shape affects these sounds. The domed ceiling acts like the inside of a great instrument. Every sound from outside is gathered, amplified, and transformed into something richer and more complex. You sit on a natural bench of stone that runs along one wall. The granite is smooth beneath you, still warm from the day's heat. The lantern's light flickers gently, creating moving shadows that dance across the curved walls. But these shadows do not feel threatening. They feel alive, part of the cave's natural rhythm. From your seated position, you can see back toward the cave entrance. The rain continues to fall across the opening. Each drop catches what light filters through, creating brief sparkles in the water curtain. Beyond this curtain, you know the waves continue their work. The beach receives the rain. The night deepens over the endless sea. But you are separate from all of that now. You are within, protected, safe. The storm outside serves not as something to be endured, but as something to be appreciated. From comfort and security, the lantern burns steadily. Its light does not flicker with wind, for there is no wind here. Its flame does not dance with draughts, for the air within the cave is still. Only the sound connects you to the world outside, the ongoing rhythm of rain and waves that has become the cave's lullaby. You notice other details now that the light reveals them. Smooth stones, arranged in patterns by previous visitors. Small shells placed on natural ledges, evidence that others have found this place, have sheltered here, have left it ready for those who would come after. You have become part of this tradition, another traveler who found refuge from the storm, another person who discovered that sometimes the most profound peace comes not from escaping the weather, but from finding the perfect place to listen to it safely. The rain continues, the waves continue, the lantern burns, and you rest within the embrace of stone and light, surrounded by the music of the storm, protected by walls that have weathered countless nights like this one. The lantern's flame settles into steady burning. You sit on the stone bench and let your eyes adjust to this gentle light. The cave reveals itself fully now. Every curve and texture becomes visible. The walls rise around you like the inside of a great shell, smooth and polished, shaped by forces that worked slowly over countless years. The light reaches into corners that were hidden before. In one of these corners, near where the cave curves deepest into the cliff, you see something else left by previous travelers. A wooden chest, small and weathered. Its metal hinges are green with age, but it appears solid, cared for, maintained like the lantern you now tend. You rise from the stone bench. Your footsteps echo softly as you cross to the chest. The sound of rain continues above, steady and reassuring. The waves beyond the cave entrance maintain their rhythm, but these sounds have become background now. The natural music of this sheltered place. You kneel beside the chest. Your hands rest on its lid. The wood is smooth beneath your palms, worn by many hands that have opened it before yours. You lift the lid slowly. The hinges move without sound, well oiled, well maintained. Inside, folded with care, lies a thick woolen blanket. The fabric is deep blue, the color of the ocean at twilight. It has been woven with skill, tight and warm, designed to hold heat and comfort. You lift it from the chest. It is heavier than you expected. The wool is soft in your hands, cleaned and prepared for use. Beneath the blanket, you find other items. A small pillow filled with something that rustles softly when moved. A water bottle, clean and ready. A few pieces of driftwood carved into simple tools. Everything a traveler might need to rest comfortably in this stone shelter. You understand now that this cave serves as more than accidental refuge. Someone, perhaps many people over many years, have prepared this place deliberately. They have created a sanctuary for those who walk the shore during storms. A place where wanderers can find not just shelter, but true comfort. You carry the blanket back to the stone bench. The wool unfolds to reveal its full size, large enough to wrap around yourself completely, or to spread upon the cave floor like a carpet. The fabric smells faintly of lavender and sea air. evidence of careful storage and occasional use. The lantern continues to burn. Its light plays across the blanket's surface, revealing the subtle patterns woven into the wool. Not complex designs, but simple waves and spirals that echo the natural forms around you. The work of hands that understood this place and wanted to honor it. You spread the blanket across the stone bench. The rough granite disappears beneath soft wool. What was merely functional becomes comfortable. What was adequate becomes welcoming. You sit again, and now the stone's hardness cannot reach you. The change in comfort changes everything else. Your body releases tension you did not know you were holding. Your shoulders drop. Your breathing deepens. The blanket's warmth begins to work through your rain-dampened clothes, drawing moisture away, replacing it with dry heat. The rain above continues its steady percussion, but now wrapped in wool and warmed by the lantern's glow. You hear it differently, not as weather to endure, but as a lullaby to enjoy. The sound becomes hypnotic, repetitive in the way that calms rather than annoys. You adjust the blanket around yourself. It covers your shoulders, your arms, pools in your lap like still water. The wool holds your body's heat and reflects it back to you. You become your own source of warmth within this shelter of stone and light. The cave feels different now. What began as simple refuge has become something approaching luxury. The lantern provides light without harshness. The blanket provides comfort without excess. The stone walls provide safety without confinement. Everything exists in perfect balance. You notice how the lantern's placement creates the ideal atmosphere. Set too high, and it would cast harsh shadows downward. Set too low, and it would not illuminate the full space. But placed where it is, on the natural shelf at eye level, it fills the cave with even light that reveals without overwhelming. The same careful thought shows in every aspect of this shelter. The chest placed where it would not interfere with movement. The stone bench positioned to face both the lantern and the cave entrance. The driftwood stored where it would stay dry but remain accessible. Someone understood how people would use this space. You pull the blanket closer around yourself. Through its warmth, you feel connected to all the previous travelers who found this place. Each person who sheltered here during storms, each one who tended the lantern and folded the blanket carefully before leaving. You have joined a community separated by time, but united by shared experience. The sound of the ocean reaches you still, but filtered through stone and distance. The waves roll toward shore with the same patience they have shown for millennia. Their rhythm never changes, never hurries, never stops. They provide the steady heartbeat around which all other sounds arrange themselves. A drop of water falls from the ceiling into one of the natural pools. Sound echoes clearly in the dome-shaped space. Another drop follows, then another, like a clock that marks time not in minutes but in moments of peace. You shift position on the blanket-covered bench. The wool moves with you, adjusting, maintaining its embrace without binding or restricting. Your body finds its natural alignment. Your spine straightens. Your head settles into perfect balance on your shoulders. The lantern flame dances slightly, not from wind, but from the subtle air, currents within the cave. These movements create constantly changing patterns of light and shadow on the walls, but the changes are gentle, hypnotic, more like watching clouds than dealing with distraction. Your eyelids grow heavy, not from tiredness, but from the deep relaxation that comes with perfect comfort and absolute safety. The rain continues above. The waves continue beyond. The lantern continues to burn. And you continue to rest within this cocoon of warmth and light and stone. The blanket holds you like gentle hands. The cave embraces you like arms that have offered shelter to travelers throughout time. You have found the place where rest becomes restoration, where shelter becomes sanctuary, where a simple cave becomes a temple of peace. The night deepens outside, but inside, within your circle of lantern light and woolen warmth, time moves differently. Each moment stretches, each breath deepens, each heartbeat slows to match the rhythm of rain and waves that surround your refuge. You settle more completely into the blanket's embrace. The cave holds you safe. The storm outside holds no threat. And in this perfect balance of comfort and security, you prepare to surrender to the deeper peace that waits just beyond the edge of waking consciousness. You close your eyes and listen. The rain above creates its own language. Drop by drop, it speaks to the stone. Each impact sends small vibrations through the cave's curved ceiling. These vibrations travel downward, through granite, into the bench where you sit. You feel them in your bones. Your breathing begins to follow the rain's rhythm. Inhale as a group of drops strikes the stone. Exhale as they find their channels and flow away. Your chest rises and falls in time with weather itself. The blanket moves with your breathing. It lifts slightly as your lungs fill, settles as they empty. The wool fibers adjust to each motion, maintaining perfect contact with your skin, creating a second skin that breathes with you. In through your nose, the air carries scents of sea salt and wet granite and wool warmed by your body. Out through slightly parted lips, the breath mixes with the cave's atmosphere, becomes part of the space that shelters you. Your heartbeat slows to match your breathing. Each pulse moves in harmony with the rhythm you have borrowed from the storm. Your body discovers that it need not maintain its own frantic pace. It can align itself with forces larger and steadier than human urgency. The lantern flame becomes a focal point. Even with closed eyes, you sense its glow through your lids. It provides just enough light to keep the darkness friendly rather than threatening. Just enough warmth to keep the air comfortable rather than cold. Another breath in. Your ribs expand slowly. Your diaphragm descends. Your belly rises. The motion is natural, unforced, guided by the rain's steady percussion above your head. Another breath out. Everything settles. Shoulders release. Jaw relaxes. Even your fingers, resting in the blanket's folds, let go of tensions you did not know they were holding. The waves outside add their voice to this respiratory symphony. They arrive at the shore in sets, building, cresting, retreating. Their rhythm is slower than the rain, but equally constant. You find your breathing can encompass both rhythms. Quick inhales, matching raindrops. Long exhales, matching the ocean's patient pulse. Time begins to lose its grip on you. Minutes might pass. Hours might pass. It makes no difference. You have entered a space where only the present moment exists. Only this breath. Only this heartbeat. Only this perfect alignment between your body and the natural forces around you. The cave's acoustics transform every sound into music. Rain becomes percussion. Waves become bass notes. The occasional drop falling into pools becomes a bell struck softly in a distant room. Your breathing becomes the melody that weaves through it all. You notice how your breath creates its own echo in the domed space. Each exhale whispers back to you from the curved walls. You are having a conversation with the cave itself, speaking in the language of breath and receiving answers in the language of stone. Your body temperature finds its perfect point. The blanket's warmth combines with the cave's natural temperature and the heat from the lantern to create an envelope of comfort that requires no adjustment, no pulling of covers, no shifting for temperature, only perfect thermal peace. The rain changes slightly, not in intensity, but in the size of the drops. You hear this change in the altered tone as water strikes stone. Smaller drops create higher notes. Larger drops create deeper tones. The storm is composing new variations on its eternal theme. Your breathing adjusts without conscious thought. It becomes slightly deeper to accommodate the rain's new rhythm, slightly slower to match the ocean's unchanging pulse. Your body has become an instrument played by the weather itself. Muscles you did not know were tense begin to release. Your scalp relaxes. The small muscles around your eyes soften. Your tongue settles naturally in by your mouth, even your toes, wrapped in the blanket's warmth. Let go of their grip on the stone beneath. The lantern's flame draws your attention, even with closed eyes. It has become hypnotic, not because it moves dramatically, but because it moves so subtly, like watching the gentlest tide pool, like listening to a lullaby sung very softly, like feeling sunlight through closed eyelids on a perfect afternoon. Your breath deepens further. Each inhale brings more than air. It brings the essence of this sheltered place, the piece of stone that has weathered every storm, the comfort of shelter prepared by caring hands, the safety of walls that have protected travelers for generations. Each exhale releases more than breath. It releases the tensions of the day, the urgencies that drove you to this shore, the concerns that seemed important before you found this place of perfect rest. All of it flows out with your breath and dissolves into the cave's accepting atmosphere. The boundary between inside and outside begins to blur. You remain in the cave, safe and warm and dry, but your breathing has synchronized so completely with the rain that you feel connected to the storm outside, part of it rather than separate from it. Your heartbeat becomes so calm that you can feel it clearly without effort. Each pulse sends warmth through the blanket. Each beat aligns perfectly with your slow breathing. The rhythm is hypnotic, natural, as steady as the ocean itself. The cave holds you in its stone embrace. The blanket holds you in its woolen embrace. Your breath holds you in its rhythmic embrace. Layer upon layer of comfort and security, all moving together in perfect harmony with the storm that continues its gentle work above and around and beyond your shelter. You float in this space between waking and sleeping, between consciousness and dreams, between the individual self and the larger rhythms that connect all things. Your breathing continues, steady and deep and perfectly aligned with rain and waves and the heartbeat of the earth itself. The stone floor calls to you now. Your body has found its rhythm with the rain. Your breath moves in harmony with the waves, but sitting upright, even cushioned by the blanket, no longer serves the deeper rest that beckons. You open your eyes slowly. The lantern flame has burned lower, not dimming, but settling into a smaller, steadier glow. It provides just enough light to reveal what you need to see without disturbing the peaceful darkness that gathers in the cave's furthest reaches. You rise from the stone bench carefully. The blanket stays wrapped around your shoulders. Your feet find the smooth cave floor, still warm from the day's retained heat. Each step echoes softly in the domed space above, near the back of the cave, where the walls curve inward and the ceiling descends to more intimate proportions. You discover what you somehow knew would be there, a natural depression in the floor, not deep, but perfectly shaped to cradle a resting body. The stone here is different, softer, worn smooth by countless tides in some ancient time when the sea reached this far inland. But more than stone waits in this natural bed. Someone has prepared this space with the same care shown throughout the cave. Fine sand fills the depression, not the coarse sand of the beach outside, but sand worn to powder by patient waves. It has been sifted, cleaned, made perfect for rest. You kneel beside this sandy hollow. Your hand touches the surface. The sand is dry, warm, soft as the finest fabric. It yields slightly to pressure, but maintains its shape, like sleeping on a cloud made solid. The rain continues its steady rhythm above. From this position, deeper in the cave, the sound becomes even more musical. The domed ceiling gathers each raindrop's percussion and transforms it into something that resonates in your chest. Your heartbeat aligns itself naturally with this ancient rhythm. You spread part of the blanket across the sandy depression. The wool settles into the natural contours, creating a bed more comfortable than anything human engineering could devise. The combination of yielding sand and soft wool forms the perfect foundation for rest. The remaining blanket you keep wrapped around yourself as you settle into this natural cradle. Your body finds its position without effort. The sand adjusts to your shape. The blanket maintains its embrace. The cave enfolds you in its timeless protection. Lying down changes everything. The cave's acoustics shift around your new position. The rain sounds deeper, more enveloping. The waves outside seem to roll not just against the shore, but through your very bones. You have become part of the cave's resonance, a human note in its ongoing symphony. The lantern flame flickers slightly as air moves through the cave's natural circulation, but the movement is gentle, hypnotic, like watching a candle in a room with no windows. The light plays across the curved ceiling above you, creating patterns that shift slowly, dreamlike, perfectly synchronized with your deepening breath. Your body releases into the sand's embrace completely now. Every muscle finds its natural length. Every joint settles into perfect alignment. The day's tensions dissolve like salt in warm water. You become weightless within the blanket's warmth and the sand's support. The sound of the ocean deepens. What began as waves against a distant pour transforms into something more fundamental. The pulse of tides, the breathing of the planet itself. Your body recognizes this rhythm, older than human memory, and surrenders to its ancient comfort. Rain continues to fall on the stone above, but now each drop seems to fall in perfect timing with your heartbeat. The storm outside has become your personal lullaby. Each percussion note on granite adds to the growing symphony that surrounds your rest. Your breathing slows further. Each inhale brings the cave's peace deeper into your body. Each exhale releases you more completely into the shelter's embrace. The boundary between yourself and the space around you continues to dissolve. The sand beneath you holds the day's warmth. It radiates this heat gently, upward, through the blanket, into your body. You become a reservoir of comfort, containing within yourself all the elements needed for perfect rest. Warmth, softness, safety, peace. Your eyelids grow heavy, not with fatigue, but with deep contentment. The lantern's glow filters through your lashes, creating gentle patterns of light and shadow that dance across your inner vision. These patterns move in rhythm with the rain, with the waves, with your slowing heartbeat. The cave's protection feels absolute now. The storm outside cannot touch you. The concerns of the day cannot reach you. Time cannot hurry you. You exist in a space outside ordinary existence, a pocket of perfect peace carved from stone and storm and starlight. Your breath becomes so slow and deep that each exhale seems to last forever. Each pause between breaths stretches into timelessness. You hover in the space between waking and sleeping, between consciousness and dreams, between the individual self and the vast peace that underlies all things. The rain's rhythm merges completely with your heartbeat now. You cannot tell where the storm ends and your body begins. The cave breathes with you. The ocean pulses with you. You have become part of the eternal rhythm that moves through all things. The lantern flame settles lower, not dying, but transforming into the gentlest possible glow. Just enough light to keep the darkness friendly. Just enough warmth to maintain the perfect temperature. Just enough presence to remind you that you are safe, sheltered, held by forces greater than yourself. Your body sinks deeper into the sand's embrace. The blanket adjusts around you automatically, maintaining its gentle pressure, its woolen warmth, its protective cocoon. You are nested within layers of comfort that require nothing from you but acceptance. The sound of rain becomes the sound of your breathing. The sound of waves becomes the sound of your heartbeat. The sound of your heartbeat becomes the sound of the cave itself, ancient and patient and infinitely peaceful. All boundaries dissolve into rhythm and rest. Sleep approaches like a tide, gentle, inevitable, natural. It does not conquer consciousness. It embraces it, transforms it, carries it into deeper waters, where dreams and reality merge into something more beautiful than either could achieve alone. The cave holds you safe. The storm sings you deeper into peace. The sand cradles your body while the blanket cradles your warmth. And in this perfect shelter, surrounded by the eternal music of rain and waves and stone, you surrender completely to the deepest rest your body has ever known. The rain continues. The ocean continues. The cave continues its ancient vigil, and you, held within all of this, sleep as deeply and peacefully as the sea itself. The night surrounds you. The shelter embraces you, and sleep, gentle as rainfall, carries you into dreams as infinite and peaceful as the ocean that guards your rest.